Hi everyone, it's Plastic EP from Melbourne, Australia. Gee, you have to get up early for these great interviews, and this is a beauty. Introducing Scott Totten. And Scott, can I tell you something? You look a bit like Mickey Dolenz, no joke.
Oh, maybe I do, and maybe I don't.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else, but not for me. Our love was out to get me. That's what it seemed. Disappointment haunted all my dreams. Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Thank you, Scott.
Right.
Now listen, let's put everything in perspective now. You're a music director for the Beach Boys, okay? Now, you love the Beach Boys and you love the Monkees. Sorry, you love the Beach Boys and you love the Beatles. Let's get that straight.
Yes.
Is that right?
Of course, who doesn't?
Right, but you also like the Monkees. Is that it?
Oh, yeah, very much, yeah.
Okay, but do they come in third place or second place? Where do they come?
Oh, gosh, I mean, I would hate to rate them. You know, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I was just very young when the Monkees came out, and I remember being 5 or 6 years old, and when I saw on TV, I couldn't tell the difference who were the Monkees and who were the Beatles.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. This is true here in Australia in 1967, where they were red hot, and we had black and white TV. This is true. You're 8 years old. You're watching the show. You believe that they sang. You know that they sang, and you believe that they played. We didn't know about studio musicians. When you're 8 years old, who cares? We're too busy buying the bubblegum cards and singing to the songs. So we've got to put things in perspective because it's true. And not only that, then you're looking at them, right? And one week it's like, oh, gee, Mickey's so funny. And then the next week, oh, Davey, he's so funny. And Mike, oh, he's the leader of the group. He knows everything, Mike. You're like, and you're going to school, elementary school, and you're singing every song until you get to I'm Going Down. Until you get the song I'm Going Down. That's the most complicated pre-rap song there ever is. It's the one that goes, floating down a river with saturated liver, and I wish I could forget it. It's like, and you're 8 years old, and I learnt the song. Now that's a big way from last train to Clarksville to going down. So now what I'm trying to say is, my point was, the Monkees lived in a beach house. You know that in the story?
Yeah.
I believe that they actually lived in a beach house. just to tell you, so we get things in perspective. You got that group, like you got all these groups, man, and you got like Mike Love, you got like all these members, and these people, believe me, they're Beach Boys fanatics. Am I right to say that?
You are correct. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of very passionate fans, and sometimes they break into camps where they like certain members of the group. That's their favorite, and they don't like another one. It's crazy.
Unbelievable. But you don't hang around those groups on the net. Like you do.
No.
You don't read that stuff, do you?
I've seen some of it online, and I was just like, oh, I got to get away from this. I can't see that,
That's great. Anyway, listen, you started playing with the Beach Boys, right? What was it in the year 2000 you started playing with them? Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. The first time I played with them was at the very end of 2000 in New York City.
And then by 2008, you became musical director. How great was that?
That was how great was it? I mean, it was for me fantastic. I love the music, and I've always been a student of the music, and so for me to get a chance to kind of get in there and fine tune our performances and take on that responsibility, it's been great. It's been really great.
Because you're the total package. When I mean that, right? I've done my research. I know that you sing, right? That's a big thing. I know that you play guitar. That's another big thing. And I know that you play bass as well, yeah. And you also play some ukulele, is that right?
Yeah, I mean, that's not saying much because all those instruments are kind of tuned the same. Some of them are bigger than others, but it's not that difficult to switch from one to the other.
So you know what the Beach Boys have always had going for them, right? This is what they've had going for them. They're so smart, okay? They were there when the Beatles started. Now these guys hone in on the sound, the beat sound. And then they figure out, right, those guys that are locked in the middle of America, in the Midwest and whatever, they don't have the beach. They got the cars. So let's get on the cars. We'll do beach song one side. We'll do cars on the other side. We'll do albums, beach, cars, beach car, girls. Girls is most important. That's right up there, right? And I mean, you know, the Beatles didn't have that because they didn't have beaches. You see what I mean?
Yeah, right. That's true.
And also, they didn't like have cars until they started making money. It's not like everyone down there was having hot rods in the UK. So we've got to put things in perspective, right? It's all right. They had girls. So they're already two down, the Beatles. They had the girls. They didn't have the cars and they didn't have the beaches. All right? We're going to say it as it is, all right? Because we've got this younger generation and they've got to understand where this is all about. So I'm saying, yourself, you've studied the Beach Boys from since you were young. And let me tell you, the Beach Boys have the greatest harmonies, right up there with the Everly Brothers and the Beatles. Completely different sounds. And you know the biggest celebrities in the world, they're Beach Boy fans too, as well as Beatles. Because they wake up in the morning and they'll put on a Beach Boy song and they'll be going round, round, get around. That's, that's me. But you know which one is my favorite song? I'm going to give you 3 guesses. I want to do this, all right? I don't want to give you initials, but there's one song guaranteed to be in my car every day, and I'm driving around when I can because we're in curfew. Have a guess what that song is, all right? Now, I'll give you a clue because you're the musical director. You should read my mind. It's 3 words, all right? That's a clue. Take your time. I know there's 10,000 songs there, but we'll get to it.
I mean, I already had a guess, but it's only 2 words, so I was going to get it wrong, I guess.
Which one was that?
California Girls.
No. I'm going to give you another guess, and then I'm going to give you a clue. So I'm going to break it down for you. Get there faster.
All right, then I guess it's I Get Around.
No. Now, I'll tell you what, there's a thread between this song I'm talking about and the Beatles. So there's a word in there that's also a Beatles song. So that's even bigger clue. I mean, I got it because I know the song.
You're putting me on the spot here. I mean,
no, it's all right. It's not your fault. Do you want me to
pressure's really on.
No, do you want me to tell you there's no pressure? First word starts with help.
Help me, Rhonda.
Yeah. Oh, how hard was that? How hard was that, Scott? Can you play a bit of that? No, it's not your fault. I love it.
I don't really know that one.
Okay, you're the musical director, but you don't know that one. Okay. You're putting me on, man. Can you play a little bit? Seriously.
I am.
Oh, okay, is that
it? Yeah.
I love it. I crank it up in my car, and I love it. Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. And then not only do I sing one part, I sing 4 parts at once.
That's the great thing about the Beach Boys music is that there's so much going on. You can lock into singing the lead vocal, like if it's Brian singing the lead vocal, or you might want to go up to the high falsetto part. Woo, woo, woo.
Yeah, but that's true. I can't do those Mike Love bits.
Yeah, and Mike does the so if you want to sing down there, there's plenty to grab onto.
And the other guy, what is he sing now? What's the name of that other member? I'm losing you.
In our group, there's
the Beach Boy member,
Bruce Johnston, and Mike Love.
Mike Love, and the other guy, the cousin.
So that's Brian Wilson. He's the guy you mentioned about the guy with the sandbox.
I'm with you. Who's he? Who's the living members now? Just go through and I'll tell you his name.
So Brian Wilson is and Alan Jardine.
That's it. You got it. I couldn't think Alan Jardine. What is Alan Jardine? What Alan Jardine? Is that got French in that name?
I guess the name is French, but I mean he's from California too. But he's the guy that sings lead. He sings the lead on your favorite Beach Boy song.
He does. Al.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I got to get Al on.
What a voice he has.
I got to get him on so we can sing "Help Me, Rhonda" together.
Okay.
Hey, we need a guitar player, so he'll obviously play the song. Yeah.
He plays guitar. He's a great guitar
Yeah,
player.
of course. He plays lead, does he?
He can, yeah. He plays lead or rhythm, yeah.
He's the man. Now
He
listen,
is.
tell me what experiences you've had. Now, I want to speak about you. I don't want to speak about the Beach Boys. Come on. How good was it for the 50th anniversary reunion tour? How huge was that? You had, I think it was a TV specials, and you had all these beautiful women wearing bikinis. Is that right, or am I imagining?
That must have been on a screen or something that wasn't on stage.
Okay.
I must have missed that part.
During the performance.
But anyway,
yeah, go on.
the 50th anniversary was a great time. You know, all the Beach Boys got back together, and we performed all these songs all around the world. And you know, it was a really busy tour and a fantastic experience. Yeah, fun.
Have you ever seen girls come across the stage walking in bikinis while you're doing the show?
I mean, yeah, I think I've seen that. I've seen that for sure.
For me, if I was with the Beach Boys, I'd be thinking every day, Beach Boys, sand and surf. Like, that's all you think about. You give everybody a really great vibe.
That's the one thing I really love. I love about the shows that we do, because everybody comes and they're in a great mood and they have a great time, and all the music is very positive and uplifting, and it brings, you know, good vibrations, if you'll pardon the pun.
Exactly. What a fantastic song that was, Good Vibrations. I'm bringing you good vibrations. She's giving me excitations. I'm an original first generation fan. I got to tell you, when that came on the radio, 68, wasn't it?
65 or 6.
I don't know the year, mate. We might have to double check that. I might be a bit closer to when it came out.
66. 66, okay. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I mean, the end of 66.
Right. When that song came out, it was nothing like it. And there's going, woo, those noises through it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, that's like, the Beatles did their thing, but the Beach Boys did their thing. I mean, you must have been right into it too back then.
I was a really wee one, but yeah, I mean, I grew up in Southern California, so I grew up listening to the Beach Boys, and even in my teenage years, even though the Beach Boys, well, most of their hits were oldies at that time, but they still played them on the radio all the time because I lived in Southern California, so you know, it's just part of our lifestyle.
Do most of the Beach Boys nowadays drive around hot rods?
No. I think they drive around in very comfortable cars.
Okay, I had to put that in, you know.
I think Mike still has.
What would you expect the Beach Boy to drive? Have they still? Right? Did they still? And listen to this one. Did they still bring their surfboards to the stage when they play?
We dress up the stage with some surfboards, but
no,
yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. I love the Beach Boys. I do, seriously.
Me too.
Now I gotta go. Now I'm thinking round, get around. I'm thinking they're like stuck in your head.
Oh, that's a great one. That is such a cool song.
Is that your favorite?
There's so many of them.
Is that your favorite?
My favorite is probably Wouldn't It Be Nice?
And you know the great thing about, I'm just saying, being a Monkees fan, but also loving the Beach Boys, I've got so many Beach Boys CDs of the same songs over and over again. It's like no, this is true. I'll go to the CD shop, right, and I'll say, oh, Beach Boys album. It's a new one. Bang, I'll buy it. Then I'll go somewhere else, I'll see another one, a new one, and I'll buy it. And then I got like 20 CDs of the same songs. It's like really great.
Yeah, they have done that over the years, where they have like a greatest hits, and then they have one called Endless Summer, and then they have one called The Sounds of Summer, and then they, you know, and the next thing you know, you've got, you know, 5 different versions of Good Vibrations and Wouldn't It Be Nice, you know. But
do you keep in contact with Mark, the youngest Beach Boy? His name was Mark. He wrote a book.
You mean David Marks?
Yeah, that's right. Thank you. Thank you for correcting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
He is, and he's a great guitar player too. He is. I haven't seen him in a while, maybe a year or two. But I mean, of course, he was on the 50th anniversary tour with us, and even after that, he performed with us from time to time. Yeah.
I think when they started, he was the youngest, wasn't he?
He was like 13 or something.
See, this is where you got to give the guy credit. I mean, he's like unbelievable. I mean, I've got his book. I haven't read it yet. I got too many
Yeah.
things happening here. I haven't got time to do anything anymore. I don't know if it's daytime, nighttime, who's who. No, it's become
I
like
know.
that.
And who has time to read a book these days, right?
I like listening to the music. I think that's the most soothing thing. And being here in lockdown, I'm in serious lockdown down here in Melbourne. Do you know what's actually happening down here? We're locked in our houses from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. We can't get out. We've got to wear masks when we go outside as soon as you leave the outside of your house. And then you've got to,
well, we do that too.
you can only drive 5 kilometers from your house.
Uh-huh.
I
think it makes good sense.
Yeah, well, it depends where you go. But as I said, I just go shopping and back and whatever. But all I'm saying is that's when you crank up the Beach Boys when you're driving down. Little lady from Pasadena, go granny, go granny.
You can only have the radio on for 5 kilometers, so you got to make it count, right?
I don't have the radio. I play the CD. I want to hear my song straight away.
Okay.
Hey, you remember the little old lady from Pasadena? Do you know the history of that song?
A little bit. Why don't you tell me?
You still do that song, though, don't you? The little old lady from Pasadena?
Once in a while, not very often. We used to do it all the time, but we haven't been doing it all the time, except for when Dean joins us for some shows.
Yeah, that's right. Because I think Jan and Dean did it too. I think they're the first to do it. Yeah, I think so. I don't know. You got to understand, because I'm so, let's say, switched on for the Monkees and the Beatles. The Beach Boys are there, and I know a lot, but I can't know everything. You know, my brain isn't that big.
And there's a lot to know, of course.
I know there's too much. Tell me something about the Beach Boys that no one knows. There's a question for you.
I don't know. I think nowadays people know more about the Beach Boys than they know themselves.
Okay, let me give you an example. When you go on tour, is there rituals that anybody does? Like, does Mike Love do something before he goes on stage?
Yes, he likes to meditate for 20 minutes before he goes out on stage. So,
bingo.
Right. I think right after dinner he'll meditate, or right before dinner he'll meditate, something like that. Yeah.
You know why? He went to India with the Beatles. I mean, how big is that?
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That is cool to know that you went there. And apparently he helped them a bit with back in the USSR, because they come up with the idea, the Beach Boys, we want to do like a Beach Boys song down there in India, right?
Yeah. So
and
they did
Mike
it kind
Love
of
goes, no worries, I'll help you. What do you want to do? And he helped them with the backup vocals and stuff like that. That's what I believe happened. You've heard that too?
I've heard a version of that story. Yeah, sure. I know that Mike apparently suggested to Paul, you know, just like in Surfing USA, I like to mention the surf spots, you know, like you should mention all the girls of the world, you know, the Ukraine girls and the Moscow girls.
See, that's gold there, isn't it?
Right.
Of course, that's fantastic. They're in India. There's no surf, there's no girls, there's no hot rods, but they come up with back in the USSR. I mean, that's a beauty. I like that.
Yeah, and then they do it in the style, kind of in the style of the.
No, I love it. I listen to that one too.
Yeah.
I always like the start of that song. Flew in from Miami Beach. You at BOAC didn't get a bed last night. You know, like I'm rocking out in my car now. So many great songs.
Really,
not enough time. You know, Scott, we're having a ball, you and me. I'm serious.
This is fun. This is
fun. How many guitars have you got?
Boy, I lost count. I know there's a few hanging up on the wall. There's a few over here. I've got the few in the closet back there. Maybe around 40 or 50. Not that many.
Now, without looking or turning around, I'm going to describe a guitar. I'll go from the, the right to the left. That white one there, that must be a white Fender bass. Am I correct or not?
It is a white Fender Stratocaster. It's a 6-string electric guitar,
it's
not a bass.
It's not a bass. Now, tell me a little bit about that in the model, if you can, without looking at it.
Which one?
The white one.
The white one. I got that one a few years ago because I just it's got some special specifications that aren't the typical model, and then I changed the pickguard because it came with a white one, and I put that lovely imitation tortoise pickguard on there. I just like the way it looks. I think it's beautiful. The rosewood fingerboard and the tortoiseshell and the white body. I think it's gorgeous.
But when you're musical director, you've got to have the best. Now, the one behind you, that's the red one. Let me guess now. Is that a Gibson?
You got it. You know your guitars.
Yeah, I do, because I've written 2,000 songs, but don't tell the Beach Boys, it won't matter, all right? So tell me about the Gibson.
That one I got maybe 15 years ago or so, and it's a 1961 ES335. I love the way it sounds. I love the way it plays. I tell you, when I'm at home and I just want to grab a guitar and play, I always grab that one.
Right, now, the one behind you that's up on the wall, there's only 3 up there I can see. That's a Hofner bass, yeah?
You really know your instruments. That's fantastic. That is a Hofner, but it doesn't look exactly like Paul's, does it?
Exactly, but what, that's an earlier model, is it?
This one's called the Club.
The Club.
The Club bass, Hofner Club bass.
Okay, so every time you go into the discos and the clubs, you take that one with you, do you?
I tell you, I love that bass though. It's got a really woody sound to it. You know, it doesn't sound like harsh and electric or anything. So it's got a very deep tone. I like it a lot.
Scott, if you grab that down from the wall, will we be able to hear a little bit or not?
Oh, I'll give it a try.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Just don't damage any of your guitars.
I don't want to turn my back to the camera.
No, don't worry. The fans can wait.
Okay.
Give us a look at it and tell us a bit about it. What year is it?
Oh, this is I got it in the early 2000s. This is a made in Germany model.
Yeah.
You know, and it's very similar in style to the ones that they made in the late 50s, early 60s. And then of course they made one more like a violin. It was almost exactly like this, the same size and everything, but it had a violin shape. And that's what Paul made that one very famous. And so when I wanted to get a Hofner bass, but I didn't want to have one exactly like Paul's. I don't know why I felt that way.
No, it's good.
I should have just gotten the one exactly like Paul's. I don't know.
No, it's good to be a bit different. You don't have to get the same bass 10 million people get out there. Can you play a bit of I Saw Her Standing There? I Saw Her Standing There. She was just 7. I'll start. Go. She was just 17, and you know what I mean? And the way she looked was way beyond compare. So how could I dance with another? Ooh, since I saw her standing there. How great is that? We haven't heard you sing anything.
Thank you.
That? We haven't heard you sing anything. I don't think you want to sing.
I can't sing today. I just can't.
That's all right. I believe it. It's all right. Save it for the Beach Boys. And I'm sure
I know, right?
I'm sure they're huge Beatle fans. They must talk to you about the Beatles all the time.
You know, they were like they were friends. You know, obviously both performing for big audiences and putting out records, and they would meet each other in certain places. You know, like in London or whatever. And
that's right.
You know, Bruce tells the story of, you know, playing Pet Sounds for Paul McCartney and John Lennon, and they loved it so much that they said, "Play it again." You know, so and of course
that's where Sgt. Pepper's came from.
And of course, Mike goes to India, and all of a sudden the Beatles are there, and he wasn't expecting them.
Do you know there's a rare album? Someone's got it. They found it. The Beach Boys and the Beatles are phoning each other on the phone, and that's put as a record. Yep, I'm telling you, look it up on the net. I know these things. So somebody found that record, and it's worth a lot of money. So you got the Beach Boys phoning each other from America and England. And I put it as a record. Yeah, man, seriously. Half the things I come up with, people go, is he talking the truth? Is this fat guy? And then check it. Yeah.
I'm going to look into it.
Please. And ask the Beach Boys themselves. I'm sure one of them has got the album. The Beach Boys are phoning the Beatles, and it's put out as an album. But the album, of course, you got to understand is I don't know what company put it out, right?
Yeah.
Obviously one that's not very well known. No. But it came out. Out.
I'm going to look for that. I'm going to look into that. Please. I didn't know that. See, I learned something here.
Don't worry, I've learned a lot from you too. I'm actually enjoying this interview thoroughly because people can't tell if I'm awake or asleep through these glasses. Like, no joke. This is true. What is it? This interview started at 6 a.m.
Oh, right.
Straight on. But when you've got someone important on, such as yourself, a VIP, you know, I wear the shirt. But if I get ultra VIP, then I wear the tuxedo. Right? So
at
for
6
Mary
a.m.
Wilson, no, I'll go through it, okay? For Mary Wilson, I wore the tuxedo. That's fair. You can appreciate that for the ladies. Susie Quattro, tuxedo. So, I only wear the tuxedo when it needs to be worn. And it's actually, I've got it next to me here, right? I've got everything here. I've got to tell you stories. I've got so many collectibles of things that'll blow your mind here. People are talking and they're talking about an item and I'll just pull off the shelf. I've got it here. Somebody was talking about a book and I had the book just here. And I go, you're talking about this? It wasn't rehearsed. This is, we don't rehearse nothing here. We just do it. As you can say we haven't rehearsed anything, have we?
No, obviously not.
We didn't rehearse the part about Mickey, did we? Anyway, getting back to what we're doing, right?
Oh, the internet's a little bit glitchy right now.
That's all right. No, it's coming through fine because we're using Zoom.
Okay, good.
I like StreamYard. I got to explain a lot of things, right? I'm so glad that you brought up these important points, right? I've got interviews happening left, right, and center. People, Argentina, Mexico, all over the world. I had an interview with a group from Moscow, and they were driving around trying to find Wi-Fi spots. That's beauty. Yeah,
wow.
It's a Beatle group called Beat Love. You have a look. One guy's in his unit playing a Beatles song. Another guy comes on from his unit. He's just sitting there watching. Another guy's driving around and he's waving as he's driving, trying to get that free Wi-Fi spot in Moscow. It's actually hilarious. But let me explain this. When I do interviews, I like to do them. I don't have to wait. I can just do the interview. I don't need like 3 hours to do my research or whatever. I just go for the flow. Okay. So anyway, what I try to explain to people, they say to me, oh, when are we doing the interview? What time are you down there and down under? Because we're upside down. And then I ask them, I say, what time is it there where you are? They say, this is the quickest way. Don't worry about the time zones, times this. I don't do that. I haven't got time. I'm not going to plus 18, minus 18 hours. What is this? Elementary school. People have to realize what's easier in their life too. So in other words, I'll say to you, for example, Scott, what time is it there in the US? And you go, oh, it's 6 p.m. Well, it's taken me a while to learn the times in America because it's confusing for someone that's born in Australia. It really is.
Of course.
So let me explain to you. I know. Bang. 6 p.m. New York time. It's 8 a.m. my time. I know that's a great time. I can get out of bed, roll on the floor, come in. Hello, how are you ready to roll? Okay. So we got that bit. And then you got your fantastic LA time. That's a ripper. Where's my little book, right? LA time, with LA what the time is. Because it's taken me a while to know, but 3 p.m. is actually 8 a.m. my time. So 8 a.m. for me is an ideal time. You do the interview, go downstairs, have some breakfast, have a great life. And then you get these weird ones where it's 4 a.m., 6 a.m. like yours, 2 a.m., right? And then you just like zonk for the rest of the day. Hey, it's not your fault. I have to do this. I don't tell you, oh, okay, I just won't sleep all night. I'm ready to go, right? So anyway, as I said, once you know the times, it's a lot easier. And I don't add, subtract. I use 8 a.m. as my sort of basis here in Australia, what's happening around the world. Like, for example, did you know when it's 10 a.m. in the morning? Now, that's a fantastic time for me. 10 a.m. in the morning. It's 7 p.m. in the UK. See, there's an ideal time. But you know what? 99% of the time, it never happens. It never happens.
Right.
It never happens.
Right. So you're based in Melbourne?
Melbourne, Australia. I did the catch cry.
I love it down there.
I did the catch cry. I got the famous catch cry. Hi, everyone. It's Plesky P here from Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne.
Okay. Melbourne.
Have you ever, that's it. You've ever spoken Australian? I can teach you how to speak Australian in 5 seconds.
All right, let's have it then.
All right. What happens is you got to know a few words, right? You got to know, first of all, follow my lips. It's a ripper. So it's a ripper, mate. You always use the word mates after everything you say. So you go, how you going, mate? It's a ripper, mate.
It's a
That's
ripper,
a great
mate.
Sheila, mate. That means that's a great girl, mate, right? So just have a practice, right? But keep saying the word mate, no matter what. Let's go.
All right, mate.
That's it. Sounds pretty good to me. I've heard people in the bush sound like that. You hit the nail on the head. I'm not joking. So I want you to say now, do you know what a ute is? Do you know what a ute is? UTE.
No.
Okay, it's not a sheep. It's a truck, 4 wheels on it.
Oh, okay.
Right, we call it ute here. So what you do is you go, hey, mate, your ute's a beaut. Like, in other words, your ute's fantastic. And then you got to add the mate. So you go, this is the normal way. Hey, mate, your ute's a beaut, mate. See how mate came in twice there? It's like checkmate. So imagine playing chess with an Australian. Checkmate, mate.
Hey, mate. Checkmate, mate.
That's it, mate. All you got to do is say mate all the time. It sounds so Australian already. Just go, how you going, plastic, mate? That's it. Go for it.
There you go, plastic, mate.
That's it, man. You come on down to Melbourne and you and me will go to a pub. You know what a pub is, don't you?
Yes.
I've got to ask, man. I don't know. I'm not in America. It's not like I'm riding a kangaroo down the street or something. No,
Hey,
you'd
that's where
love
they
it
play
here.
the Australian Open tennis tournament, right?
Yeah, but don't worry about the tennis for the moment. Let's worry about having a good time here in Australia. You'd love it. And you know how fortunate we are here in Australia? I don't have to go to Italy to get the best pizza in the world. You know why? They've got places here that have opened up, and the guy who owns them, he's gone to Italy, and he's won the award for the best Italian, like the best pizza in the world, and it's here. He's got 3, 4 big stores. So why would I run to Italy and spend $2,000 to get there to have a pizza that doesn't taste anything like the pizza here? See, ding, ding. It's all common sense. I can't understand. You know, in life, let me tell you something. It's about time I give you the Plastic EP life lessons. Okay. You ready for this?
I'm ready, mate.
Right, that's it. That's what I want to hear. Now, if I gave you a choice and I want you to give me the answer, it's either one or the other. In life, you make choices, right? There's the hard choice and the easy choice. What choice would you make?
The easy choice.
That's right, but you got to say mate on there. The easy choice, mate, okay?
The
You missed
easy
that
choice,
one.
mate.
That's it. That's perfect. Right, so now you're getting it. But you understand in life, not everybody takes the easy choice. You know, in life, I'd rather have less and have a great life, a simplistic life, than have a so complicated life where it's so complicated, I can't get my head around it. I just want a simplistic life.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I think when Paul McCartney had the, you know, went to his farm in Scotland and all that, simplistic life. Makes
You're
sense,
absolutely
doesn't
right.
it?
Yeah. Just
Like,
him
I'll
with his
give you an
animals
example.
and his family.
How many days in the week?
7, mate.
That's it. That's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for the mates. You got me there. You got me. Right? Yeah. 7 days in the week. Do I need 7 cars for 7 days in the week? The answer.
No, mate.
Do I need 1 car?
Maybe 1.
Right. And in Australia, what car do I need? I need a...
Ute.
That's it, mate.
Mate.
That's it, mate. You got it. Well done, Scott. Seriously. That was fantastic. All those people out there, you know, they've learned something.
And so have I, thanks to you.
No, you know what, Scott? I've loved this interview. Has it been something you've never expected in your life? What did you expect before we started the interview? Let's get into your mind. What sort of an interview did you expect before we started?
Well, I mean, usually people ask me, how did I join the Beach Boys? What does a musical director do? What other things have I done? You know, those typical kind of questions.
Now, that's what you did there. You hit the nail on the head when you said, what else have you done? Now,
Yeah.
The Who, Tommy, were you a musical director for The Who, or was it the Broadway show you were in that?
I played lead guitar in the Broadway show.
I knew it was that. That's why I had to say it, because you can see I'm up to date with what you did. How great was that?
That was really a lot of fun. I mean, that's one of my favorite rock records of all time. That's one of my favorite rock bands of all time. And to be able to play that, show, I did that for like, I think about a year and a half, 8 shows a week for a year and a half.
That is unbelievable. But let me tell you now, other person wouldn't ask you this. They'd understand there's like, how can I say, there's a thread now between the Beach Boys and doing The Who. Do you know what that thread is, mate?
It's Keith Moon.
No. It's like, now how do we compare the Beach Boy fans to the Who fans?
Oh, I can't believe that you're saying that. I was going to mention earlier, back in the day, I used to see that Who fans were also very,
That's it. You tell me. You
really
know.
get into it, these fans.
You tell me. You know.
Yeah.
See,
and so the Beach Boys are like that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but all fans are different. I've noticed. It's like the bands; they're all different.
Yeah.
Like the Monkees aren't the Beatles. The Beatles aren't the Monkees. The Beatles aren't the Who. The Who aren't the Beatles. You got to get that. It's true, isn't it?
You're right, mate.
That's it, mate. Listen, Scott, is there anything you want to say? Have you got any links? Or have you written a book? Have you written a book by now?
I have nothing to sell. Can you believe that? I mean, really, I have nothing to sell. The only thing I could say is over the last year, I produced some songs for Mike on his recent song, which is called This Too Shall Pass, which was about the virus and the shutdown. I produced that, as well as an album that he put out last summer. So, if you want to go to Spotify and check out some of those songs, please do. Including, we did a Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun, which I redid completely different. I made it like a bossa nova.
A bossa nova, unbelievable.
You should check it out. It's pretty.
Of course, I'll check it out.
Yeah. Okay.
That's after I read David Marks's book. I'll check it out.
Exactly.
All I want to say
is a good
Scott,
book. David did have.
Of course, it's a great book. Scott, on a serious note now, I want to thank you so much. This interview, it's not going to be our first or our last. I want you to know that. Because next time you'll know what to expect, mate. You'll know what to expect.
Okay. I'll be better prepared.
No, you'll be fine. So I just want to say, from Plastic EP and
Scott Totten,
it's been a pleasure doing this fantastic interview, and all I can say is, you with me, Scott? Round, get around.
I get around.
That's
mate.
it. See ya.